And so today we're going to talk about a couple of stories from Scripture where people persistently pursued God, and it was good. God met Jacob at this point. And in this wrestling match, he was injured, like pretty bad. But he didn't let go. He had been fighting his whole life for the blessing that was promised to him before he was even born. And here, without any energy left, he just held on. "What is your name?" he asked him. "Jacob." "Heel grabber." "Deceiver." God said, "Not anymore." And he gave him a new name. He who wrestles with God. Overcomer. He renamed him after he held on. The God who met Jacob where he was, who changed his name, who met him when he was afraid and blessed him, and then blessed generations through him. Eli said, "May the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him." You see, Hannah, Scripture tells us, was grief-stricken and in anguish. But she too held on to God. She was not holding on to the hope of this blessing so that she could have this blessing, because if you listen to what it said, she vowed that if God gave her the blessing, she was ready to give that blessing right back to God. Even before the blessing ever came, she was ready. She was holding on to God. "Lord, teach me how you want me to live." Not, "Lord, this is how I want to live, and now I want to find verses that align with the way that I want to live." We do that. You know that, right? We do it a lot, because it's possible to do that. This is how I want to live. This is how I want to think. This is how I want to believe. And now I'm going to find Scripture that fits it. That's not what this says. "Lord, teach me how you want me to live. Do this." The "this" is the teaching. "Do this so that I will depend on you." Not depending on other people or on other things or on myself, but on you, my faithful God. Give me a heart that doesn't want anything more than to worship you. You see, all that we are and all that he made us to be is better when it's in his hands. In our hands, like I said, everything can tend towards selfishness, bitterness, judgment, all those things. But when we give things over to God, it's always better. We belong to Christ if we hold tightly to the faith We had it first, but we must hold tightly until the end. What are we holding tightly to? Do we have too many other things that we are holding tightly to that we can't hold tightly to God?